So, it's June now. I was supposed to have this video up in April. I don't really have an excuse for that. I just got really swamped with schoolwork and school took priority over this. So, yeah. But it's time to actually talk about my Riven and Timmy redesigns. Sorry this took forever. I'm prioritizing school over my personal YouTube projects at the moment, but once I get a better workflow started, hopefully my YouTube videos won't disappear for months on end like it has been. I'm trying to get that under control, I promise. But next up on the redesign train is Riven, who as a kid I had really liked, but as I grew older I started to really dislike. He was rather misogynistic and generally just being a dick to everyone. So I gave him just a bit of an overhaul on his personality. He's still a dick in the beginning, but he grows more likable towards the end. So Riven I gave a lot of sharp angles and features to, as I wanted him to appear as someone you don't want to be around. Otherwise, he'll just hurt you. Like, he's very spiky, let's put it at that. Out of all the boys, maybe minus Helios, he's got one of the slimmest builds of my redesign series. He's very lean, very tall, allowing him to be more agile on the field, at least comparative to the rest of his team. I like to think that Riven grew up on like a poorer side of the kingdom he's a part of. He's not a prince, mind you, he is just a general citizen. Like I said, he grew up on the poorer side of the family, on the kingdom, so his family is rather poor, at least comparatively to like a middle-class citizen like what I've decided Timmy is. Giving him more tension between Sky and Brandon and giving him an actual reason to hate the two of them, because Riven had to work incredibly hard for where he's at, and he believes Brandon and Sky were just handed the opportunities to them. So that's my tension for Riven and those two, because in the series it didn't really explain why he had such a weird beef situation with Brandon and Sky. It's kind of implied that he just doesn't like them. I need more than that, so I gave him an actual reason. Like I said, he had to work really, really hard on his skills and other academics to get into the Red Fountain school, because Red Fountain is predominantly a richer, higher society, I guess, school for boys. So Riven had to work twice-ish as hard compared to other students because mommy and daddy paid for their schooling. They're all funded for. He's not. He worked incredibly hard to where he's at. I'd like to think that his tough boy personality is really just a mask. Like, he doesn't want people to know the real him, the poor little kid who had to bust his ass off to where he's at now. He wants people to think he's effortlessly cool and skilled, and he isn't much of a tryhard. Riven in the show used quite a variety of weapons, like bladed weapons to throwable weapons. I wanted to keep his weapon styles versatile, but also wanting to keep the original weapon that he was shown with in the first season, which is a bolo/meteor hammer. I really liked that weapon and thought it was really cool because it can be used for so many things, but you have to be so meticulous about what you're doing with it, because not only are you trying to not hurt yourself with it, but now you have multiple people on a field within semi-close proximity to a relatively heavy weapon attached to a chain. So you have to be mindful of where you're throwing, what's behind you, your surroundings, and what could happen if your weapon got out of control. So he wants his weapon to be effortlessly cool, but if you actually know the weapon itself, you know it takes a lot of effort to use it and wield it properly without hurting yourself and others around him. His uniform is rather sleek and doesn't have the flowing skirt like the others do. I wanted his suit to mirror the fact that he's a more agile person comparatively to the rest of his team members, which is why he doesn't have as much of the flowing fabric, the kneecaps, or knee padding for him because he's usually the one going out in front, taking dives, and just running about. I also gave his suit a bit more fabric fold around his hips because he is actually just a bit smaller than the average student comparatively for someone of his class and others within the same field of study he's in. So he had to make adjustments to his suit to make it fit for him, but he's just generally slimmer than the rest of the classmates because he doesn't have as many opportunities as the others, and he probably didn't have as much food growing up because, again, he is on the poor side of the kingdom. I also got rid of the skirt because, again, his weapon is attached to a chain, so I felt as though if he's throwing his weapon around, those flowing materials could get caught in the weapon and just restrict him from fighting effectively. But yeah, that's another reason, utility-wise. His casual... Why does my script say castle? What the fuck? His casual outfits are pretty close to how they were in the show. I did end up keeping the midriff because I think his personality is pretty show-offy, and he wants to be admired for being deemed cool and really, really, again, sure of himself. But again, this is a fake facade. He's pretty self-conscious, actually. I'm making this a thing now. He's a little bit pathetic, but it's fine. He'll get better eventually. But also because I think his original fashion sense was pretty fitting for his quote-unquote bad boy persona, so I wanted to keep it relatively to how he was in the show, but with some added details of why he's acting like this. Also, I couldn't find a reason for the fact that he has the UK flag on his jacket and one of his outfits. It's just kind of there, but I kept it because I thought it was just kind of funny that they're in a realm of magics. They don't have a concept of quote-unquote human life or nations. So him just having like an entire nation's flag on him that's not existent to what he's knowing at this time is just a little bit funny, so I decided to keep it. Is there like an actual lore reason? No, I just thought it was kind of funny, so I kept it. But yeah, I also changed up his eyes quite a bit. They're very more expressive than originally, and I wanted his eyes to almost mimic a bullseye in a scope. Like, he's very on point, he's very driven, and can really only see one goal at a time. Like, he'll have tunnel vision. I wanted that to be reflective in his eyes as a very like little minor detail. I think Riven is the only one I've given knee pads to, purely because within the lore, the faction he's a part of for school is a bit more active and stealth-like, almost like a rogue from D&D, but less of the murderous intent. That is my Riven design. I actually really like him now, and I'll go more into depth on lore once I get the lore video out, so more stuff about him later on. Now, rounding off our original four specialists is Timmy. Timmy I kept mostly the same personality-wise. He's still a really big nerd with very little social skills or confidence in himself, so I incorporated rounder shapes to Timmy overall. Timmy is one of the shorter members of the group, but he's also the one who's the most intelligent. He tends to be just a wee bit of a know-it-all, but not on purpose. He doesn't mean anything by it, he's just trying to be helpful, but because he lacks social cues and just kind of coming off as a very, not arrogant, but to some people he could be arrogant, I guess. I wanted to try to give him a softer and more approachable appearance, who is a good contrast to Riven, who is the more standoff, scary looking member of this group. I think Timmy would have gotten into the school because of his smarts, and not because of his physical prowess. Mind you, this doesn't mean he can't hold his own in a fight. He's just more likely to think of a different solution rather than going fist first into a fight. The only sharp feature I gave him are really his glasses. Granted, they're not as sharp, but they're a bit sharper than I normally would have given. This is also me playing around with shapes. I was having fun with that. I had to keep the contrasting glasses with the bright red against his otherwise normal sense of cool tones, except for one of his casual outfits where he tries to get more confidence and wears more out there colors, like with his bright red pants. And also to bring in a bit more of the red colors from his glasses, just to balance them out a little bit. His uniform is based more on a pilot's uniform. I took some inspiration from the pilots from Star Wars, giving him more of a relaxed look in his uniform. Bit more loose-fitting compared to the others. This adds to his smaller stature of not being very confident, so his clothes tend to be a bit more baggy. I gave him more of a loose-fitting tech wear outfit for his casual outfits, and a workout outfit that looks pretty similar to a Season 1 outfit. Pretty loose and layered, but keeping his build hidden. Again, he's not very confident himself, so he likes to try to hide. I also kept the weapon from the first season, as I think having a more tech-based weapon fits him more than a traditional fighting weapon like a sword, or in Riven's case, a bolo. Opting for more long-distance weapons instead of hand-to-hand or close range, so he can have more time to think about his opponent's actions, what will happen if he does something, or just having more time to think about his next moves in general. I like to think Timmy has modded his weapon to be more versatile than a standard issue weapon from Red Fountain. So if I were to draw another Red Fountain weapon like Timmy's, it probably wouldn't look exactly like what Timmy has, because again, he's modded his, so his is probably got like 100 different added features that a normal student wouldn't have, just because Timmy is a tech guy. He wants to probably mod his stuff so it can be more beneficial for him in the longevity of it. I also gave him more pouches than I gave the other members because he likes to be prepared. And if he doesn't have something, he can usually make it pretty fast with stuff that he has in his pouches. Like if something on the ship were to break, he can easily fix it with the tools in his bag or in his pockets or the pockets on his arm. But yeah, those are my Timmy and Riven redesigns. Fun fact, while I was searching up references for the Winx Club boys, I was just looking up Winx Club characters in general. But in one of my searches on Pinterest, you know how Pinterest has like little categories you can tap or click onto to get more of the same searches? One of those searches was labeled as Winx Club boys, but it just showed a picture of the Saga boys from K-pop Demon Hunters, and I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed Timmy and Riven's redesign. Hopefully the next Winx Club video won't be taking as long to get out. I say knowing full well I'm about to start school once again. Next video should be, I believe, the Dino Squad video. And then after that, I don't know which video will be coming out afterwards. It might be a 10-year anniversary depending on the timing. Or it should be my introduction to Lightstone, but we'll find out later. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you next time. I don't know when that will be though. Bye!